What is going on, everybody? Hey, there you are. All right. Welcome to the $10 Wednesday stream. Uh, every Wednesday we do meals for $10. Today's meal is a baked penne. I would call it a baked ziti, but there's technical terms for noodles, and the technical term for the one we have today is penne. The difference being is ziti is a long cylinder noodle without ridges, just a smooth noodle, and that's called a ziti. If it has ridges, it's called a penne. Every single noodle, every shape, bend, twist, curl, texture, stripe means it's a different type of noodle. You got elbows, you got macaronis, you got, all the different types. So, to be correct about it, we're doing baked penne. So, all the ingredients that I have listed that you can't see at the moment, that I posted on Twitter and the Facebook page, all those ingredients I bought completely for under $10. One of the key ingredients to pay attention to when you're doing a cheap meal, if you're trying to be cheap about it, you can get mayonnaise packets and salt and pepper packets and sugar packets and things like that, usually in the deli section of the grocery store, by where you get your coffee and stuff like that. They usually have their little deli section, and they're considered the free condiments. So if you're trying to do a meal for under $10 and need salt and pepper and mayonnaise and sugar and need to budget it in, you can kind of get it for free in a way. They really don't mind either. It's no big deal for them. So let's get started. Over there on the stove, as you can see, I have a boiling pot of water on the right. It's not boiling yet. I just turned it on. So that's getting warm. I got my oven preheated to 350 degrees. I got my deep dish cast iron skillet on the left, because again, I make everything in cast iron skillets because I love cast iron, and you get it dirt cheap at yard sales. This one here is a big Dutch oven one with a lid. This one didn't come from a yard sale. This is a family hand-me-down on my girlfriend's side, and it's just fantastic. So to get started, I have a whole garlic clove and a whole onion. Apex, have you made those fried mac and cheese balls? Joe's Life, hey. Apex, no, I have not. I have not had the time. I'm gonna do that tomorrow. Honestly, I got really busy with stuff yesterday, and I could not get to that. But today, or tomorrow, I will be making them tomorrow and get the video on my YouTube page tomorrow. Excuse me, I'm sorry I didn't make it to that yet. I've just been really busy. And then I spent all day today editing Monday's video, and I got that to YouTube and some other stuff. So I will have the cheese balls soon. Sorry, Apex. So yeah, tomorrow I will have that. I promise you that. I have the whole day off, full plans to make videos. I'm probably even going to do a knife sharpening video tomorrow too. What's up, Joe's Life? So good to see you guys. So as I was just explaining, I have some garlic and some onion here. And what I'd like to tell you about these two beautiful things, is the garlic. You can usually buy garlic cloves, and then instead of selling them by the pound, they usually sell them by the each. So you can get a whole garlic clove like this. I paid 69 cents for this. And when you're doing that, when you buy them by the each, they sell garlic cloves. I mean, you can buy little small ones. They have big ones. This was the biggest one that I could find, because if they're all going to be the same price, you might as well get the biggest one that you can. And as far as onion goes, onions are paid for by the pound. So consequentially, we get a nice small onion. We're just making a smaller dish. We don't need a great big onion. So if you're trying to conserve money and you're paying for onions by the pound, just get a nice tiny little onion. I paid 25 cents. If you look at the receipt, this onion cost me 25 cents, and this garlic clove cost me 69 cents. So that's still less than $1, and you got two great fresh products to start your meal off with. Also, anytime you're doing a $10 meal or a meal on a budget, you want to try and get your meats for cheap. So what I got here is I got a hot pork sausage, ground Italian ground sausage. You can usually find them for about $2.99 a pound. This was on sale, 2 for $5. I just bought one for $2.50. So that helps save some money right there to keep the budget in check. So yeah, anytime you're doing cheap, look for whatever is on sale. You should always be able to find some sort of meat, chicken, pork, something that is at least $2.99 a pound or less. If you're paying more than $3 a pound for your meat, it's going to be really hard to keep under budget. And then check your sales area, your day-old area, and stuff like that. I got a whole loaf of bread here, fresh baked, probably fresh baked yesterday, I imagine. Although it could be fresh baked today. But with a card. So I got this for $1. This whole loaf of fresh bread for $1. And if you watch the streams before, when we make garlic toast, we have fresh clove garlic, we have fresh made bread, and you get your mayonnaise packets right here. Again, if you just joined, you don't steal them, you take them as a free condiment in the deli section of the grocery store. So you don't have to pay for your mayonnaise packets, you don't have to pay for your salt and pepper packets, and you don't have to pay for your sugar packets. So when you're doing a budget, always keep an eye out in those condiment sections. So as you saw in our streams before, instead of butter for garlic toast, I use mayonnaise. So here we have mayonnaise, we have salt, we have pepper, and we have garlic. So therefore, we can make a cheap-ass garlic toast, right? That will complement our baked pasta dish very well. So let's get started with that. First thing, we're going to get our garlic cloves and our onions together, and we're going to get that sauteing in our pan. And then our sausage. We're actually going to mix all of it together because part of this under $10 deal, I want to try and stay authentic with you. So in doing that, I couldn't factor oil. I couldn't factor oil, vegetable oil or olive oil or butter into the budget. There was a form of butter that was 99 cents, and I paid $9.50 for all this, so if I would have went 50 cents over budget, I could have gotten the one type of butter. So because we don't have a butter, hence that's why we got the mayonnaise packets for our bread, we are going to saute all the vegetables with the pork together. Pork has fat, fat is grease, grease is oil, oil is used to saute your vegetables, right? And because I use cast iron, all of my cast iron skillets are always seasoned. It's not that there's oil in the pan, but they have that oil glaze, so it's not like stuff will really stick to them. That's another reason for using cast iron. So we're going to crush up some garlic, we're going to cut up our onions, and then we're just going to throw everything in the pan together. As opposed to normally you would throw oil in, cook your garlic and your onion first, get that cooked down, and then you would work on your sausage in there. But this is the poor man stream, so we're gonna stick to everything that we can for under the $10. We're gonna not cheat at all is the plan here. So as you see, we have salt and pepper covered. So in every under 10 stream, we'll always be able to use salt and pepper because that's covered under the free condiment section. You know when you go to your local gas station and they have that bin of hot dogs there, and you can get a hot dog on a bun. Check right underneath it. They have packs of salt and pepper. Grab a handful of each. They don't care. Dude working behind the counter is getting paid minimum wage, man. He really doesn't care if you grab an extra handful of salt or pepper packets. It's okay. And you always want to make sure you peel these really well. And I don't have a trick for peeling garlic. I'm sure there is one. I should probably look it up. We can teach it and learn it together. But, excuse me, I don't have one. So we're just going to do 3, 4, 5 little cloves. Now the cool thing about it is garlic lasts for a really long time. So you bought this whole clove for 69 cents. We only used a couple of pieces out of it. And that saves a lot of garlic for later on in life, later on in the week if you want to make anything else. And you'll probably see this garlic clove on another stream because I'll probably end up using it really soon. So when you get your garlic chunks like that, you want to lay them out, and this is the tricky part. You lay it out, put your knife flat over top of it. See that? There's your garlic clove. Put your knife right there, put your hand flat on the knife, and press. And what that does is flatten it out for you, right? Here's your knife. It helps crunch it up, and you're going to do this to all your pieces. Don't try and be a hero and do all of them at once. It takes a lot more pressure. There's a lot more sliding around going on. You have a sharp knife in your hand on top. When you have a whole bunch and they get to sliding and moving and your knife blade moving under your hand, that's a recipe for the disaster. So when working with your knife, take your time, one piece at a time, crush it, smash it. And it's garlic. It's amazing stuff. So, I mean, you don't need to rush it. Just take your time and enjoy the garlic. So now that they're all nice and smushed flat, we're going to slice them up. Get a little dice to them, right? Tip the knife blade down, fingers curled, forward slice. The garlic smells so good right now. Got it all cut one way, turn it to the side, cut it the other way, tip the knife down, forward slice. Little chop up. Last little piece there. This is all going to kind of break down in the sauce as well. You might want a little more. I like garlic, so we're going to add one more nice big clove. Why not? You can never have too much garlic, especially when you're making a pasta, right? I mean, I guess part of it will help peel if you just smush it all together. Also, I don't know if you saw that. If I can get it under there. How the which way? This way. On your garlic cloves, there's this little cap piece on you kind of want to snap off or cut off. It's a real hard piece right there. It can chip your teeth and stuff. So you always want to make sure that gets cut off and discarded. Alright, see, that'll help kind of peel some of it off for us. Flatten out this other one. Alright. Yeah, that'll help take that shell off a little easier. You can also get garlic smashing devices. There's little devices that help smash it and crush it and all that fun stuff. Or you can just do it by hand with a knife, like we are right here. So there we go. A little more garlic. Next up is our onion. We have a ton. Yo, what's up? How's it going, Sonic Lucero? Good to see you, buddy. Doing our $10 meal today. See, my knife. I need to hit my knife on the edge. That's why it kind of caught there on the onion. We're gonna peel this little onion off. Look how cute this little onion is. Like I said, when you're paying it for it by the pound, buy the smallest onion you can get when you're going for cheap. Like I said, this is a 25-cent onion. So, chopping onions this way, it can get kind of thicker. So I'm going to try and cut our onions a little thinner and show you maybe that. So just slice them thinner when you slice them at this stage. And then separate them in half. Ooh, it's going to make me tear up. And then tip down that forward slice. Oh, these onions are strong. Oh, dear Lord. Alright. So, something I just forgot to do, but we should talk about. Starting every stream, I like to go over with everyone and what you guys been eating this week. I know we had a stream on Monday. We kind of talked about some food. Did you eat anything interesting yesterday? Anything today? I actually made the mac and cheese for dinner tonight for a bunch of people, and it came out awesome. Nice, Sonic. Awesome. Did you use the tri-tip and candied bacon? Yeah, and did you get any pictures of it by chance? I'd love to see a picture of it if you have a picture of it. If not, no worries. It's cool. But I'm so glad you made it. That's fantastic, man. Did you change anything up with it? Did you use a different cheese, or? I'm always interested in how people make their recipes, you know? That's really exciting. I'm glad you did that. Cat, get off the table. She knows she's not allowed up here. Leftover pizza today. All right, Joe's Life. You had pizza on Monday. Leftover pizza today. Fair. I didn't use the tri-tip, but I used the candied bacon, and it was good. Nice. Yeah, the tri-tip's a little pricey. You can use any kind of steak or even ground beef, really. But yeah, the candied bacon is just killer, ain't it? The only thing I left out was the diced tomatoes and the onions. Yeah, that's really. I mean, the diced tomatoes and the onions are more for that fancy look and flair on top when you're presenting it, and you have that red and the green to kind of complement the yellow, just for that, you know. So we're doing it on camera and stream, so we want to make it look, you know, fun. So, but that candied bacon though, that's where it's at though, right? I mean, that candied bacon kicks that off so well. All right, get our pan warming up. Alright, so we'll get our sausage open here. Got a little knife somewhere. My stove's been making all kind of noises. I'm waiting for it to just randomly combust and catch on fire. Probably grabbed the wrong knife for this. Alright. What I need is to grab a sharp. Oh, there we go. Cool. Got it. Right on. It was awesome, the bacon. Nice. Draco, here in the Sprite, got to go back to work. Here in spirit, got to go back to work. Right on, Draco. Glad you could be around for a little bit. Hit me up when you get off work, buddy. Yeah, son, I'm glad you like that bacon. That bacon is just something else. That candied bacon. It and it's best with the brown sugar. You can use regular sugar, but brown sugar is where it's at. So we're going to throw our ground sausage into our pan now that it's getting warm. Like I said, we're going to, because this is the cheap stream and I don't have butter, I mean I have butter and oil in the house here, but because I'm doing everything for the $10 that I can purchase, I have no vegetable oil or butter to use. And even though it's a staple in most kitchens, just like the salt and pepper is a staple in most kitchens, the goal is to try and do everything for literally the $10, which is why we get our seasoning, salt and pepper and sugars from the deli section in the condiments in the free grab bags. So we're going to use the sausage for the grease. Use that grease for our onions and garlic. Brown sugar and carrots and butter. So good. Nice. Yeah, dude, you put that brown sugar on the carrots. Another thing you can do with carrots too, if you're just cooking off carrots, you take your oils and your butters and saute your carrots and then pour amaretto liqueur. You can pour that on there. And then, careful though, because it'll probably light on fire. And then cook it down in that. Get amaretto, sauteed amaretto carrots. So good. Switch over to stove cam. There we go. So as you see, we're gonna get a little stick to the bottom because we're doing this without the oil. If we start to get too much stick, if you ever have a problem, if you're doing the under $10 meal and you have butter and oil in your kitchen, use the butter and oil, for God's sakes. I'm just trying to prove a point. So if it gets too sticky, you can add water to help. Now remember, there's a lot of ways you can make marinara sauce as well. And this version of marinara sauce that we're making here is going to be super generic due to pricing, obviously. So one day we will, actually what we will do is when we make homemade meatballs, we're going to do that homemade meatball sub sandwich that I believe Apex gave the idea of. When we do those homemade meatball hoagies, we are going to make a killer marinara sauce to put on top of that. We'll bust out the burgundy wines. You know, we'll get in it really good. So we're just going to cook up our sausage and our onions in here right now. While those are cooking, we're going to open, I got 2 cans of stewed tomatoes. I like stewed tomatoes. Let's see if we'll just leave it on this for a moment. So open up our cans of tomatoes. So this is going to be the base of it. Now when you're dealing with tomatoes, the reason we have the sugar packets, and it's not too much of a problem when you're making a marinara sauce. You still want to use a little bit. It's more of an issue when you're making soup. But the reason we got the little sugar packets is tomatoes in tomato cans, any type of tomatoes, have a high acidity content. That's also why they weren't eaten by humans for many years. They thought they were poisonous because they have a high acidity content. The high acidity content gives you that really tartness, like when you go to eat it and your mouth puckers in and sucks up. It's got a real tartness to it. So depending on the cans of tomatoes and depending on the types of tomatoes that you use, if you're using fresh tomatoes for this, which is another thing you can do, you can in the summertime, certain times of the year, you can get tomatoes for relatively cheap. But you need to use a little bit of sugar to help numb down the acidity levels of your tomatoes. So that's why you just go over to where the coffee is and grab a couple of sugar packets, and you have sugar for your stuff. So, because we talked about it possibly sticking and burning to the bottom, one, when it's nice and hot, that'll help. Two, as the greases and oils come out of the sausage, it lubricates the pan, and keep mixing. As long as you see me here, I'm just standing and constantly stirring it around. That's so that nothing sits too long and burns. It's all starting to get a nice brown color to it. So this is when, once all your meat looks nice and cooked, you'll probably still have little portions and chunks of raw in there, so don't taste test it yet, please, because you'll probably still have little chunks of raw in there. But for the most part, you're just about all the way there. So now we'll put in our cans of tomatoes. I also have a little bit of tomato paste here as well. I'm not sure if we're going to use it. I'm going to open it. We probably are going to use it. A can of tomato paste. You can get little cans of tomato paste like that. And you can get little cans of tomato sauce. I got the stewed tomatoes, but they have cans of tomato sauce. And I mean, you can even get cans of spaghetti sauce. You know, I mean, you can just get a can of Hunt's spaghetti sauce, you know, for 99 cents. And that could leave even more in your budget. And I probably should have done that and made some more stuff. But I kind of wanted to show you making it from scratch, because you can replace these cans of tomatoes with regular tomatoes. Because cans of tomatoes, it's not as much as you think. So, I mean, if you bought like 6-9 tomatoes, and depending on the price and the season, you can probably get 6-9 tomatoes for about the same price as this, give or take. So, alright, so our sausage is nice and cooked up. Looking good. Our water's on boil over here. So now that our sausage is looking good, we're going to add our stewed tomatoes in here. Something about these stewed tomatoes, as you see on them, they are more of a whole style tomato. That's all a personal choice. You can get diced tomatoes, stewed tomatoes, there's sliced diced, there's pureed. You can get some with jalapenos mixed in it. I mean, the possibilities are endless, really. And so then I use my spoon. My spoon helps beat up a lot of it in the pan, you know, help chop some of it up. We're going to mix it up. When you add that, as you see, we're going to need some more liquid in there, so we're just going to add a little bit of water just to help soup it up a bit. We probably could have gone with another can of tomatoes, which would have been possible. We had 50 cents left, and you could buy the small cans for about that. But we do have the tomato paste here. We could have replaced the paste with more of this. We could have gotten rid of the 65-cent can of paste and gotten 2 more. You know, whatever. So we'll throw a little bit of tomato paste in there. I'm never going to throw the whole thing in there, because I don't know if we need that much. Actually, it looks like a lot right there. Is this? I'm going to just take a spoon out of the way. When you add tomato paste, you definitely want to make sure you have some water to it, because tomato paste is very, very thick. And that's the basis of our sauce, guys. Like, that's the primary what we're doing. We're going to add some sugar. We're going to add some salt. We're going to add some pepper. Probably not much salt, but we're going to add some pepper and some sugar. We're going to wait till it's hot and cooking and everything is warm and cooked through. Now that you have that in, now you can turn your heat down. Because we're using sugar packets and whatnot, or salt packets and whatnot for our noodles, we're not going to add salt to our water to boil the noodles in. So it's just going to take a little bit longer than normal to cook our noodles off, but we're just keeping in the price range. Hey, sorry I missed chat for a while. Hey, the sausage is looking so good right now. Add some sriracha hot sauce, and it would be great. Heck yeah. Bill Cosby is probably guilty. I see you have a Montana sticker there. You from Montana? Yes, sir. I am from Montana. Bozeman, Montana. Oh, well, lives there. I don't know where he's from. I'm originally from Pittsburgh, but I've lived in Bozeman, Montana for about 10 years now. So, Bill, you're from Montana too? What city are you in, man? It'd be kind of cool if you're in Bozeman too, but Montana's a pretty big state. It's kind of cool that somebody from Montana has randomly hopped on stream to watch. That's pretty sweet. Missoula here. Nice. I got some buddies in Missoula. Got a couple of good buddies out there. One of my favorite bands just played out there a couple of days ago, and sad I didn't get to go. It's like, what, yesterday actually, 2 days ago, something like that. Yeah. That's awesome, you're in Missoula. I go out there for I go to Missoula every year for the Slightly Stupid concert at the Big Sky Brewery. That's a fantastic one. But yeah, Missoula's a good place. Bozeman's not bad. It's all blowing up pretty big. So if you're just joining us, yeah, not very many of us. Yeah. So if you're just joining us, I always ask people, what might have you had for dinner this week? What might have you made or friends made? I love the idea of the sriracha hot sauce. I totally want to put it in there. But again, it wasn't in the $10 budget. For those of you who just joined and don't know what's up, the Wednesday is $10 Wednesday. I saw Primus at Big Sky Brewery. Oh, nice! I wanted to see them too. I remember when they were playing. I had to work that day. That's awesome, man. So yeah, this is a $10 Wednesday stream. So everything here was purchased for under $10, and that's why some people might watch and not know that and be like, "Why aren't you adding more to your sauce? You're doing this." Well, it's not in the budget. On the other streams, we don't really have. I mean, we do have a budget, but not really. I mean, I try to, not break the bank, but I get everything that is needed to make it well done. Hey, we got an alert. Bill Cosby is probably guilty, is now following you. Right on. And probably, I'm going to say he is, but yeah. Thanks for the follow, man. Always great to have more followers. I'm working on giveaways. I think I'm going to try and, I should probably advertise it too on the thing, but I'm probably going to try and do a giveaway at like 50 viewers or 100, definitely 100 viewers. I'm going to do a giveaway of some form at 100 viewers. And I'll give something away maybe at 50. Maybe at 50 viewers I'll give away a pizza. And then like at 100 viewers, I'll put you on a list. I'll get a list going for who I got to send jerky to. And so after like so many followers and stuff like that, we'll start doing like beef jerky giveaways. And I'll do like a stream making beef jerky. And then I can like package it up and ship it to you or something like that. Sounds like that should be fun. Alright, so our water's now boiling. We're close enough to it. We're going to add our penne noodles. And you know what? I wanted to pull out my glass dish for putting all this in. But the problem is I'm still using it for the mac and cheese, so I get to that tomorrow. The mac and cheese is still in there. So I'm either going to put the noodles into this whole cast iron, or I have another pan here that we can work with. I'm going to try a few different things. Oh, okay, now we're warm. Now we can taste. It tastes so good. We don't even have much in it. All this is just garlic, onions, sausage, cans of tomato, and paste. We're just going to let it cook. We're going to add, let's see, let's switch our camera. BRB, right on, guilty. We'll see you in a moment. Thanks for the heads up, though. So, switch it over to this cam to show you how much we're going to use here. These are our salt and pepper packets. We got mayonnaise packets. We got sugar packets. And we got salt and pepper packets. So, like I said, just raid your local gas station or your local grocery store deli area. When you just go in there, over by the coffee area and the hot dog area, just go ahead and grab handfuls of the salt and the peppers and the sugars. They usually don't mind. Don't tell them I said so, but, So we're going to add... it tastes like you need a lot of salt, so we're gonna add like 3 packets of the pepper because I love pepper, maybe 4 packets of the pepper, and maybe a half a pack of sugar. So let's see how that. Oh, we got a good simmer going. Now. That'll help soften that garlic up into there, help those flavors release. So we're gonna rip that about half the packet of sugar. I don't think we need the whole packet. We don't need a whole lot. There's not that much sauce going on. Excuse me, we're going to use all 4 packets of pepper because, as I've stated many times over and over, I love black pepper. Can't have too much pepper. So Joe's Life, and I don't know if Borali is watching or not. If Borali's around, Joe Life, but that I was looking into the port or the lamb. So we raised enough money to on the donation thing to do a third stream. We're gonna do the third stream probably on Saturday. I'm thinking sometime between 2 and 5. I'm not sure what time I'm going to do it at. I still haven't nailed that fully down. It'll probably be sometimes more in the afternoon, not a late stream like this. It'll probably be more in the daytime hours, I think. So I was looking up and I saw some stuff, and I think I got an idea. I'm going to do a cherry port wine drizzle, I believe. And I looked up one thing that was talking about a goat cheese polenta, and that looked really good. And then with the pistachios and a little bit of honey and help stick it and some other flavors like that, we'll sear it, we'll bake it, and I think we can do a killer job with those lamb chops. It's looking pretty good, right on. Switch back over to stove cam so we get a little better look at it. So we're just going to let this cook down a little bit. It's just kind of cooking and hanging out. While that's doing that, I'm going to go over and we're going to talk about our garlic bread. Turn that back down because you can probably hear it too. It's rumbling pretty good back here. Also remember to constantly stir your noodles. You can use the same spoon because it's just going into the same thing. If you get a little tomato sauce in your water that you're boiling your noodles, it's not a bad thing. Also remember that we're going to cook our noodles to what people call al dente, or what most people call it undercooked. Brally isn't here yet? Yeah. Well, you can let him know I've been doing some research and working on that pistachio encrusted lamb chop, and it's going to be kick ass. So I got my serrated knife out here. Got my big loaf of bread. Look at this. I paid $1 for this. You believe that? $1. I know your great grandma was like $1. We used to pay 5 cents and still get change. So obviously we're not going to use the whole thing. I don't have that much mayonnaise. I just grabbed 2 packets. Excuse me. Depending on how many people you're trying to feed, how much garlic toast you really want, just grab more mayonnaise packets. I just grabbed 2 just because I just wanted to show you guys how it's done, really. So take that. I like to cut the tips off and save those for other things. I'm not the biggest fan of just chewing on that immediately. There are cool things you can do with that, though, and we will learn at some point. So we're just going to cut a couple of pieces off here to make our garlic toast with. Man, this is some beautiful bread for $1. What? That's probably way more pieces than we're going to have enough for, but what the heck. It comes in this super sweet thing like this. I mean, just awesome. So we're going to get our salt and pepper packets back on deck. Oh, we're also going to need to chop up some garlic for our garlic bread, aren't we? So let's do that. Some of you weren't here right off the bat, which is okay. We're going to recap on some garlic here then. So I got this whole clove of garlic here we're using. Only cost 69 cents. Amy Jane, hi, the kitchen lighting looked great tonight. Right on. How's it going? Alright. Let me make sure I'm not burning our sauce. Sometimes you can get too caught up with making something else, and you can burn your stuff. So, I'm going to do that. I'm going to check the noodles real quick. Probably not quite done. Nope. We want undercooked, but we don't want raw as hell either, so. Alright. I'm going to peel this garlic clove here. Again, I don't have any tricks for peeling it. I might have to try and find some and teach you guys some. But I just use my fingers and my nails to kind of crack the end. Just kind of like peel it back. It helps bust it off, you know. Give it a little backbreaker peel. 2 pieces should be close enough to good, right? I hope. We're going to find out. So, I've never made garlic toast this way, so this should be fun. So again, You lay your garlic cloves out, put your knife over top, palm on, squish. And again, always do it one piece at a time. Don't try and do a whole bunch. You're going to get different levels. Your knife's going to flop around. You're going to risk cutting yourself. It's going to hurt. So don't get into a rush on the garlic. Always one piece at a time, push, one piece at a time. Because you get a bunch going, they're going to slide, your knife's going to go everywhere, and you're putting pressure down. Anytime you're putting pressure down and you have an unsure idea of where the knife is going, that can never be a good thing. Got the kiddos watching, got some kiddies watching. What's up, guys? Right on. Let's all learn how to cook today, huh? So we're making the garlic toast here with fresh garlic cloves. The reason why is because this is all under $10. I'm not using anything outside of the $10 realm. So I do have garlic powder in the house, but I'm not going to use it. We're going to use fresh garlic. Alright. Just checking our stuff. So, let's see how this camera looks. So that looks blurry as hell. So again, I set these cameras up earlier today. They were nice and focused. Then they come out of focus, and now they're back in focus again. Alright. Man, it's amazing how out of focus that gets. Alright. So, we're going to start with putting the mayonnaise on our breads first. So I'm going to get a little butter knife here. Well, maybe not a butter knife. I'm going to use a spoon. I like to use the back of the spoon sometimes. So we're going to peel these open. Let's see how many of these pieces of garlic bread, or these pieces of bread, we can get with our mayonnaise. So a little bit here, here. Alright, looks like we're going to be able to do all 5. A little more mayo, and a little bit on this one. Right arm. Got enough mayo for everything. Use the spoon here, smooth it all out. Alright. There we go. So now we got those looking there. We got our garlic here. So now we're just going to take our garlic, kind of sprinkle it a little bit over top. Is Thomas out there watching? Thomas, if you're watching, man, this is all you with that fresh garlic. It don't get much fresher and garlickier bread than this, man. So if you're out there, dude, this is for you. And you know what? I just kind of thought of something that I should have done, and I thought about it earlier today, and I was going to do it, and then I didn't. I got carried away. But what you can do to help make this process easier is squirt all your mayonnaise packets into a little bowl, dump the garlic into the bowl and your seasonings, and then just mix it all into the spread, and then lay the spread on. Yeah, I wish I wouldn't have screwed that up and been able to show you that better. So yeah, I don't know why I didn't do that. But yeah, if you take a little bowl, put all your mayonnaise, put all your seasonings, everything like that, and just make your whole spread together, and then just lay your spread down, and you're good. So we're going to sprinkle some pepper, because as you all know, I love pepper. Put a lot of that down. A little bit of salt. I'm going to put the salt in my hand and sprinkle it, because I like to know exactly how much I'm doing. You can't really see the salt when you sprinkle it, so at least if you pinch it in your fingers or pour it on your hand, you can see how much you have and how much you're using. I've used a lot of salt in my day and done a lot, so measurements are good. I am allergic to mayonnaise. Oh no! If Zizo, how's it going? If you're allergic to mayonnaise, you can go ahead and use butter. Yeah, sorry if you're allergic to mayonnaise. And if you don't have butter for the under 10 thing, again, usually you can find stuff like that in the deli sections and so. Oh, I never heard of anyone being allergic to mayo. What is it in the mayonnaise that you're allergic to? Is it like... Oh, whoa, I just splattered that stuff all over me. Is it the oils or is it the raw, is it the eggs? I'm curious what would be in it. That's crazy, I'm sorry. Well, if you can't use mayo, use butter. And if you can't use that either, just go ahead and anyway. Oh, we gotta get these noodles out of here. Oh boy, they're done. All right. Eggs. Oh yeah. Okay. Can you get mayo without eggs? Do they make a type of mayo without eggs? Yeah, well, that's a bummer. Alright, let's see how our sauce is tasting now. We haven't really tasted it since we added the seasonings at the end. It's been cooking a little while, so. Oh, guys, it's fantastic. It really is. Should really check that out. Very limited ingredients, very limited seasonings. It all just pulls itself together. So now that our noodles are done, I'm going to leave us on a triple cam here for a moment. We're going to kind of go back and forth. So, I have this pan out for us that we're going to put it in because I still have the macaroni and cheese in my sweet glass pan because I'm doing the macaroni fried balls tomorrow. So there's our penne. Excuse me. Here's our sauce. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, guys. Good to the last drop, I tell you what. Okay, so then I'm going to get my other pan up here and ready because this is going to be our garlic toasting pan. There are several mayos, eggless. The one in my fridge that is awesome is Just Mayo by Hampton Creek. Yes, I undercooked the pasta since I'm going to bake it. And I'm so glad you said undercooked pasta because there's a terminology in the kitchen called al dente. And al dente means undercooked pasta. But nobody outside of the kitchen world knows what the hell the word al dente means. So when you tell somebody, hey, you should cook it al dente, they look at you like, what? And then you have to tell them it means undercooked. So 9 times out of 10, if you have to deal with people, just tell them to cook it undercooked. So yes, I do cook the pasta a little bit undercooked. This one was like right on the borderline because I was kind of caught up with my garlic bread and talking with you guys, and that's just part of the stream, you know, when you're doing this by yourself and all that stuff. Although, you know, if you got kids or anything else running around, it can be interesting. So yeah, so that's all laid out there. Get it all nice and smoothed over. So then I got this mozzarella cheese. Got this mozzarella cheese. It was on sale today. Always check your grocery store for the sales. I believe this was $1.99, helping to keep with our budget. So as you can see, that's the most expensive part of the budget. Is the sausage was $2.50 for the pound, and the mozzarella cheese was $1.99 for a pound. So that was $4.50 right there. So the remainder of this dish we paid $5.50 for. If you believe that, you know, it's crazy. Should believe it. I posted the receipt on Facebook with all the ingredients that we're using right here. So now we're just going to dump this mozzarella cheese all over it. Probably just use the whole thing because why not? And there it is. Look at that. That was a beautiful looking little pasta bake. I was also wanting to add like parsley and chives and stuff like that, but it just wasn't in the budget. I was almost able. How come you don't make your own mozzarella or buy a ball of mozzarella and grate it? So is this if you're new to tonight's stream, obviously, yeah. The reason why and what is the type of pasta you're using? So I find the pre-shredded more expensive. So yes, so a couple of things. I didn't really look for the fresh mozzarella to grate, so that's a good point. I don't know how much it is. I know that this bag of mozzarella I got on sale. See, today on Wednesdays, what my goal is I do a dish for under $10. So everything that I'm cooking with, I bought this entire entire set of food for $9.45. So if I was going for a regular deal, yeah, getting a fresh mozzarella ball, fresh grating it like that would be amazing. And I will do streams with stuff like that, but Wednesday is just the $10 stream, so I am very limited on my ingredients. It's a challenge for me as well, because I have to put together the best flavorful dish I can with the least amount of ingredients. And you're probably right, on a normal basis, maybe mozzarella is probably cheaper when they're all normal price, but this mozzarella was on sale, so I just happened to get it and use it for today. But yes, I love fresh mozzarella, and we'll probably get into doing things using fresh mozzarella with fresh Roma tomatoes, olive oil, garlic, salt, and pepper, and making like little salad dishes and stuff like that. So we'll definitely be getting into that. I do a stream every Monday and Wednesday, and now starting I'm going to be doing a stream this Saturday as well, and that's what my goal funding meter is for. Every time I can fill up that meter, I can do a Saturday stream, because the food does get a little pricey. But I do a Monday stream, and Monday stream is all out, balls to the wall, break down the walls and just make whatever we can. Like last Monday, we made that mac and cheese with tri-tip candied bacon. So yeah. So sorry about the mozzarella this time, but you know. And what is the type of pasta you're using? The type of pasta I'm using is a penne. Normally this would be called a baked ziti dish, but baked ziti is a type of pasta. It looks just like penne, a long noodle, except it's totally smooth. A penne noodle has the ridges in it, the little lines across it. Every single dimension of the noodle causes it to be called a different noodle. If you spiral it, if you curl it to an elbow, if you lengthen it like a spaghetti, if you flatten it like a fettuccine, if you make it big and round like a penne but big and fat and more of a square, it's a rigatoni. It's all the exact same pasta material. If you have it long and flat, then it's called a lasagna, please. So technically the technical term for this is baked penne, because we're using penne noodles, or you could call it a baked ziti, but you can't call it a baked ziti because technically these noodles are not ziti noodles. I don't know if I can get close enough on the camera. Yeah, see those lines in the noodle there? So because of those lines in the texture, it's called a penne. But if you take it and you cut it squared, like that, so it's more squared off, and then if you remove the lines and made it smooth, then it would be called a ziti, and we could be all fancy about it and call this a baked ziti dish. And if you were to blow this up and make it twice the size, then you would call it a baked rigatoni. It's So I find the sale items are cheaper or prices, but usually they are still more expensive than buying in bulk. I like Radiator noodles. Radiator noodles? I don't know what kind of noodles those are. Yeah, things are cheaper if you buy it in bulk, and I do try to buy things in bulk and do things that way. But like I said, this stream here on Wednesday nights, I literally take $10 and I spend the whole week going to grocery stores pricing out items, and then at the end of the when I'm ready, I go down Wednesday morning with a $10 bill and I walk around the store with a grocery basket and my calculator, and I price everything to the exact T to be under $10 to show that for $10 you can make a meal for a family of 4 in today's economy. So I'm going to throw this in our oven now. Switch that over. Another reason why I wear big aprons is because they dub as a pot holder. Throw a timer in there. We'll put it for like 5 minutes just so we don't forget. I realize that beeping on the stove is really loud. I'm sorry. I'll mute my mic when I use the beeping because that is really loud. So now I'm going to turn our skillet on low. You can hear that buzzing noise, but I think my stove is freaking out. Radiator noodles, yeah. Not sure. Like I said, there's a million different ways in the styles of the noodles. I don't know all the names of them. I love growing chives in the summertime outside. Yeah, me too. My next door neighbor, Timmy, I steal a lot of, well, I don't steal them, he just gives them to me. I get a lot of herbs from him in the summertime. He grows cilantro, chives, garlic, carrots, tomatoes, peppers. He grows the whole 9 yards. I just started getting into gardening a couple of years ago. This year I'm really going to go big with my garden because I'm going to document my garden on the Facebook page, on the Dude's Foods page, and I'm going to try and use the vegetables from the garden on stream, and I'll probably cut to our garden every now and then and kind of show it and whatnot and kind of talk about what we're growing in there. Beefs aren't that loud. It's okay. Okay, cool. You could also make your own noodles. That would save money as well. Yeah. I made my own noodles. I did a chicken noodle soup stream. And I made my own noodles for the chicken noodle soup. I did egg noodles. And I don't have a noodle press to make nice flat noodles. I also don't have a full recipe on just straight up spaghetti noodles. So doing them from scratch, and again, you have to buy in large bulks of stuff. Like if you were to do them at scratch, you got to buy a bag of flour, and you got to buy a bag of this or whatever. You got to buy things that's slightly bigger. So if you got to spend $3 on a bag of flour, that ruins the idea of our $10 stream. But yeah, I did make homemade egg noodles in our chicken noodle soup. So I am fully well aware of what you're talking about. But again, I'm just trying to show you guys that you can make a meal for 4 for $10. Trust me, we will get into some mozzarella and some other stuff at some point. We just started the stream about a month ago. Flour is $1. Okay, depending on the thing. But yeah, but you still got to buy egg. I mean, there's just so much involved. And yes, you can do it for cheap, but you don't get it. You know, you can get it for cheap, but then you got to lay out on other objects. So that was part of the idea of this. You get the noodles. You can buy noodles. You can buy that bag of penne noodles for under $1. And so for under $1, you buy the noodles, and then that leaves you with more money to purchase more things to add to it. Plus, you need a special machine and device to set out your noodles, and then you're talking about spaghetti noodles unless you can make penne noodles. And in this case, we're doing a ziti baked penne, and so unless you have a machine to do it that way, then it's not going to happen for you. Alright, so our pan's getting warm here. Alright, we've got a warm pan. We're going to throw our bread down with our mayonnaise side down. And we're just going to let them nice and slow there. Yeah, eggs are like $3. That's $4 for noodles now. Yeah, see, hey, Laren 85, right on. Good to see you. I don't know who you are, but nice to see you. Yeah, no, so I totally understand what you're talking about. But with 3 pounds of noodles, $3 for pounds of noodles, I totally understand that and get that. But this is everything that you can do for under $10. So what you just described there, you're talking about $1 for the flour, you're talking about $2 for the eggs. That's $3. I spent $1 on these noodles right here. So right now I just beat that by $2, and at the end of what I purchased everything for, I paid $9.45, which left me with 55 cents to the $10 mark. So your $1 in flours and $2 in eggs is not cheaper than the 50 cents that I had left over from the $9.50. Even if I remove the $1 from the noodles, that leaves me with $1.50. You're talking about $3, so it breaks my bank of the $10. So it doesn't work. So we cheat where it makes sense, yeah, and we can cheat where it makes sense, you know, with the oils and the salts and the peppers, and that's why I tried to demonstrate that I'm not even cheating with that by getting the free salts and peppers and sugars from the gas stations. So I totally understand what you're talking about. I completely agree with you that making your own noodles is cheap, but when you're talking about making a cheap meal using cheap ingredients, then no, it's not cheaper to make your own noodles. The idea is a meal for 4 people under $10. Yeah, he's only making one meal though. The Icy Hot, hey, Icy Hot, right on. You're only making one meal though. Yeah, so I'm only making the one meal. But yeah, you know, if you're looking at the idea that you want to make a bunch of noodles for the week, or you want to make a big meal, stuff like that, Totally, you go ahead and get the flour and get the eggs. If you're talking about you wanting to make pounds of noodles and make big dishes and stuff like that, and you're going to spend a couple bucks, it's most definitely cheaper to buy your own ingredients to make your noodles. But that's not the point of being under $10. That's going to put you at $20, $30. But yeah. Anyways, I'm glad everybody else seems to understand. Sorry, Zusu, I understand what you're saying, but not tonight. So, got a nice warm. This turn it up a little bit. I just gotta be very careful with this. Man, I'm used to doing grilled cheeses and garlic toast on a flat top, in a commercial kitchen. On a flat top in a commercial kitchen, you heat the flat top up to 350 degrees, and it always stays at a constant 350 degrees. So when it stays there, you never really think about it. And you do your grilled cheeses, you do your garlic toasts on it or whatnot. When you come home and you turn on your stove like this and you set it to like medium, it doesn't have a temperature control or any of that. Your skillet could be like 500 degrees or something, So getting my stove dialed to just right to where I want it to be able to cook garlic toast right is becoming tricky. So I've adapted to keeping it on a slightly lower setting, just so I can crisp it nicely and not burn it. Hey Draco, he's backing off of work. Right on. Cool, good to see you, buddy. We are just about finished up, and we'll get to chowing down here soon. We're making our garlic toast. I want to move my cutting board out of the way now because we are about... You burn the toast again? No, ruined! Do you have time limit? I don't have a time limit. The time limit for this is as long as it takes. Usually it's been rounding out to about an hour, hour and a half to cook it. But no, there's no time limit. Just simply how much food can we make for $10? Last week I did a chicken stir fry. I kind of overcooked the noodles a little bit again, doing the whole talking in the streams thing. I'm still getting used to doing that. But I made a stir fry last week using ramen noodles and stuff like that, and we did a stir fry. I'm not 100% what I'm going to do next week. I've kind of come up with a few ideas. Chances are it'll probably be something involving beans or rice. Do you ever do a quick meal stream? I don't. That was... I was kind of starting to do that for my Wednesday thing, and, I guess I couldn't justify, what I do, I don't know, I got to kind of think about that, because I want to do, short meals, show you how to make something super fast and quick and on the go. But the problem is, if I do it as a stream, then it's going to be like a 20-minute stream, and then I'm off the air. So, I kind of like to be online for a little bit, And do you cook for a living, or is this your hobby? I cook for a living. Not currently this winter. I work with a chef down in Gardner, the north entrance of Yellowstone Park. He is a fantastic chef. I live here in Montana. He's an amazing chef, and I'll be doing some work with him come April. He has a really good summer gig. I sous chef for him. He's fantastic. I've ran kitchens before. I've worked with amazing butchers before. I've worked with some amazing chefs throughout the years. I've ran kitchens. I've done weddings for thousands of people. I've done weddings for 100 people. I've catered Steeler football game tailgate parties. I've catered graduation parties. I've built menus. I've reprogrammed computer menu softwares, all that stuff. So, yeah, no, I Are you a classically trained chef? I don't know what classically trained chef means. Like classic piano or so. If you mean going to college or culinary school, I did not go to culinary school. I went to the school of Hard Knocks. I started in the dishwashing pit when I was 15 years old, scrubbing dishes. By the time I was 16, I was in the pantry station doing salads and desserts. And by the time I was 17, I was running the fryers. So, self-taught, I can't say self-taught because I was taught by a couple of fantastic chefs and an amazing butchers that I worked for over the years. And so I've learned stuff on my own, sure, but if not for those amazing chefs that I worked for in the past, I would not have the knowledge and skills that I have today. They helped me grow a lot, And one of the chefs that I did work for, however, was a culinary teacher at the local community college, and he taught a class there on cooking. And so while I didn't take his class at the community college, I got to work with him 8 hours a day, 5 days a week for 4 years. So, you know, whichever one, you know. And that restaurant, it was a fine dining restaurant where we were breaking down full filet mignons. We were making lamb and duck, lobster tails, New York strips. I mean, everything was fresh scratch. We were making homemade demi-glazes, bisques, soups, all that fun stuff. So, yeah, I have a little experience with all of that. And then I used to run one kitchen downtown until the boss's husband drank all the money away, and they pissed the whole business away. Never run a business and be an alcoholic. It doesn't work. You piss all your money away. But it was a fantastic restaurant I ran downtown, and we did like homemade hummus, homemade black hummus. We did a homemade aioli, which is, if you don't know what homemade aioli is, it's a homemade mayonnaise. I mean, we made all sorts of stuff. So I'm very well versed in many different cultures of food and styles of food. I have friends that hunt and kill everything, and I help butcher that. I've made jerky, I've made salami, I've made, you know. So, because I've had the winter off and not much to do, and it's Montana and it's -5 degrees out, and I have computer equipment and I like to cook, I said, screw it, let's cook on Twitch. Sounds like fun. So I started doing that. What's your favorite style of cooking? That's a good question. I don't know if I have a favorite. I guess I like sautéing. If you're talking about professionally in a commercial style kitchen, I really enjoy the sauté. You can get some sautés, like you see I have these 2 burners here. You get in some of those kitchens, and it's burner next to burner next to burner, and you have 3 across and 3 in the back, or 4 across and 4 in the back, and you have a stack of pans similar to this one. They're not cast iron though, they're good commercial metal ones, and you have a stack of like 20 of those things, and you got a big bin underneath all your stuff where you throw your dirties, and you literally get a whole deal. You get 6 to 8 pans all frying. You got Jack Daniel's sauce in one, you got fire shooting off of this one, fire off of this one, you're sauteing that one, hitting that one. It's just a lot of fun and energy, and I really enjoy that. Excuse me. If you're talking about, I guess because I'm Italian, I really enjoy Italian. I like sauteing with olive oils and garlic, stuff like that. My personal favorite dish of all time, and I will show you guys how to make that later on. It's called a chicken granatini, and that's Italian. What that is, it's a saute style dish. Is you take a chicken, you put a little prosciutto ham, you put a little Romano cheese, you wrap the chicken up, you wrap it in some bacon. Emmy Jane, only $5, right on. Thanks a lot. So appreciative. That is awesome. Yeah, so I do a chicken granatini, and you put the prosciutto and the cheese, and you wrap it in the bacon. You put a toothpick through it and pan fry it in marsala. It's freaking awesome. Man, it's so cool, you guys. Thanks for the donation. Keeping the dream alive. And all the donations go straight to buying more food and more equipment. Well, primarily more food to do Saturday streams, because we're doing Mondays and Wednesdays, all the time. Mondays make something crazy cool. Wednesdays is $10 Wednesdays, and Saturdays I haven't decided yet, but it sounds like this Saturday we're gonna go a little all out, and we're gonna make a pistachio encrusted lamb chops with a cherry port wine drizzle with a goat cheese polenta, if I said that right. It's like a goat cheese sauce on the bottom, and the lamb chop is going to be encrusted with honey and pistachios and stuff like that, and pan fried and cooked in the oven and set on top. And then we're going to drizzle cherry port wine sauce over top, and it's just going to be killer. I'm not the biggest fan of lamb chops myself. If you do them right, they can be good. So hence I'm hoping I'm going to do it right so it can be good. I've never made this dish. I've never made it this way. I've never made it this style. So it's going to be learning for all of us. Buckwheat05 is now following. Right on. What's up, Buckwheat? Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Heck yeah. Love all you guys for the follows. It's so cool. We just started this at the beginning of the month. We're already at almost 30 followers. I mean, that's super cool, guys. I was just going to be happy if I had 5 people, you know, but they're almost 30 people. That's so cool. You love lamb chops, Sonic? Right on. So you might want to come around on Saturday, and if you're not around on Saturday, it will be posted to the YouTube. I just posted our Monday's video to YouTube this morning if you missed Monday's show. And I also do little short videos. I started last weekend. I learned how to edit, so I have a video on how I made the dude's cheeseburger over the weekend with crushed Doritos inside the burger meat, which is just awesome. And I did a breakfast sandwich. I'm going to do deep fried macaroni cheese balls tomorrow. I'm going to make a YouTube video of. And I'm going to do some videos of some knife skills, some knife sharpening skills, all kinds of stuff, really. I'm just bored in Montana and happy to cook and have fun and hang out with all you guys. So here is our dish. Our baked pasta is complete. And our garlic toast, I'm going to call it done. So, grab a bowl here and a plate. And if you're curious how you can support the stream without any money at all, helping to support by going to YouTube and subscribing to our YouTube page, checking out our videos, liking our videos. They're all monetized. I help make money off of the ads and stuff like that. So just by giving us a like and a subscription on YouTube helps out a ton. Liking us on Facebook to check it out. Polenta! Oh, hey, stop or I'll shoot. So that's how you say it, polenta. Right on. This, yeah, the lamb chop song. So stop or I'll shoot is pronounced polenta. So I'm gonna make a polenta sauce, and I've never made one. I know the concept. I haven't worked a whole lot with goat cheese. Excuse me. Whoa. I should probably mute my mic when I do that, huh? Sexy. So share videos and stream. Yeah, share videos and share the video with friends and family. Yeah, share the videos. I post them onto the Dudes Foods Facebook page. I post them onto our Twitter page at the Dudes Foods. Yeah, so to help support the stream just by sharing our videos, liking our pages and stuff, it just helps out a ton. Polenta sauce. Yes, polenta sauce is the sauce that we're going to make with the lamb chops. And we're going to make a sherry port wine sauce that goes over top. And it's just going to be killer. I'm really excited about it. I haven't ever had it before. I haven't made it before. I've made a sherry port wine drizzle similar to that before. I've done different sauces of that nature, not specifically this one. I've worked very little with goat cheese. I used to work a lot of it when I worked at that fancy place downtown that I explained. So I'm really excited to work with some new materials that I haven't. I was running a bar, casino, restaurant for the last 5 years, and it was a lot of bar food. I got to make a lot of cool stuff. I did a lot of homemade stuff. I made homemade soups from scratch every morning, all that stuff. But getting to delve back into the finer things of like lamb chops and things like that is a lot of fun. I'm excited about. It's a big typo, Zisu. Placenta sauce sounds good. Yeah, that's a big typo for sure. Are we talking about the same thing? Polenta is corn. Yeah. So stop or I'll shoot. Yeah, polenta sauce. So I don't know what polenta actually is, but that makes sense because there is cornmeal in the sauce that we're talking about. The polenta sauce that we're gonna make, stop or I'll shoot, is that's masa. It's goat cheese, and so you take 4 ounces of water, and you take a bunch of cornmeal, and some seasonings, and you heat it and mix it and whip it all together a lot, cornmeal, and then once it's all mixed together, then you melt down the goat cheese into it, and then you pour a little bit of it onto the bottom of the plate, and you set your lamb chop on top of it, and then we're going to put the drizzle over top of that. I'll shoot Chuck. So, call you Chuck? Right on. So yeah, if it's a cornmeal, then I like it. Yeah, we are using cornmeal, and if polenta means cornmeal, that makes total sense in the sauce that we're going to make. So here it is. Here's our dish. That is our stuff. I'm going to grab a fork here and try this bad boy out. Guys, that was so good. So tasty. Full of flavor. Got onions. Got garlic. Got everything you want. Let's see how this garlic toast came out, huh? This is kind of an on the wild thing. And garlic bread looks great, right? Yeah, it came out looking good. Let's see how it tastes. Heck yeah. Tastes great. It's toasted, it's seasoned, a little salt, a little pepper. You can taste the garlic, that fresh garlic. Like I said, I wish I would have smothered it all together, putting all into the spread and then spreading it. But yeah, really take the garlic. I mean, look at this, guys. There's a big old bowl of penne noodles there. You got a whole pan dish right there, and you got garlic toast. I mean, you could feed a family of 4 and then some. This is all $9.45 is what we spent, guys. $9.45, and that's it. Did you put ground pork in that? Yes, I did. I used a pound of hot sausage, hot ground sausage. I sure did. There's the recipe list here. I have the recipe list on the side right there, on the right-hand side. It's also on our Facebook page and on our Twitter, which you should totally check out and like and subscribe to and all that fun stuff. Looks good, right? Yeah, that garlic toast. I'm really happy and impressed on how that came out. That's the cheapest, most generic way I've ever made garlic toast. I'm really happy and impressed with the way it came out. So, I'm not going away yet. I'm just doing my thing for YouTube. If you're on YouTube, watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button, the like button, leave a comment, all that fun stuff. Helps out a ton. Thanks a lot.